Hi everyone. I feel like the first question is going to be, why are you making this video? And for me personally, going through what I've gone through, this is going to be harder than I thought it was. When I had my miscarriage, I didn't know many people who have been through the same thing, and I didn't have anything to go off of what's normal, of how common it is, and I assumed that, like me, lots of other people go and search for answers and search for someone else who can relate. And for me, I was able to find lots of videos on the internet that gave me some peace just by hearing others' stories. So I thought it's time, I feel ready, hopefully, to share my story so that someone else can know that they're not alone and can relate and can know that I understand. So this is my story. I met my husband and we fell madly in love. We were engaged. We were planning our wedding. Everything was going perfect. And then after Christmas, I found out that I'm pregnant. It was a surprise. We weren't really planning, but at the same time, we both always knew that after we got married that was something we really wanted, was to try and have kids. So we just thought, okay, life is just coming a little sooner than we expected, but we were happy. So we changed wedding dates around because the due date was actually the same week that we had planned to get married. So we were really happy. We were really excited. We fought all the time about how he wanted a boy and I wanted a girl, but we both knew deep down we'd be happy either way. Everything was going pretty good. I was really sick in the beginning of my pregnancy, and I said multiple times, I don't know why anyone would want to be pregnant. This is horrible. Why do people do this? But I had just come into the point where I was starting to feel better. I'd hit my second trimester. Things were feeling a lot better. I was able to eat again. I was able to keep food down. My mood was getting a lot better. I feel like a big thing people don't tell you when you're pregnant is that your mood can kind of change and you don't really feel like yourself anymore. And that was a hard thing that I struggled with in the beginning. But I was coming around the corner of feeling a lot better. We had done the blood test to find out the gender. We wanted to reveal it at our wedding in May, and we were really excited. We got a call that when we did a lot of blood tests that I carry an intermediate mutated gene of Fragile X. So that was very scary because we had no idea what that meant. But we checked it out, talked to a specialist. She told us we have nothing to worry about. But in that process, we were able to find out that we were going to have a boy. So my husband was very happy and I was happy too. So we started to plan. We came up with his name. Randal Allen was his name. And I started to buy clothes. I was trying to be careful. I wanted to wait. I knew we were going to get a lot of things from our friends and family. But we still wanted to reveal to them in May that he was a boy. Sorry, my phone did not want to take all of this. So anyways, we were all really excited. I go in for my second sonogram, was really excited. Since we already knew the gender, we weren't really looking for that. We just wanted to know that the baby was healthy and happy. I was about 15 weeks. Hadn't felt the baby yet, but that's common for your first pregnancy. I go in, we go through the whole check. Doctor says I'm really healthy, says everything's looking really good. We do everything. And then at the end of your appointments, they always check for the heartbeat. they checked for his heartbeat and could not find it. So it was a very scary moment, the scariest moment of my entire life. It was very quiet, long pause of waiting and fear. I didn't want to believe it to be true, so they had a specialist come in and check it. They moved us to another room to look at the sonogram in the large room where they turned off the monitor where you usually can see the baby. So my husband and I knew then that something was really wrong. So nurse turns to the doctor turns to me and says, "I'm sorry, but it looks like he has stopped growing a few days ago and his heart is no longer beating." So just pure shock, really. Never imagined it would happen to me. I just didn't think it was possible. So everyone's crying but me. I'm just still in shock. So I wait till I get to the car to drive home. My doctor says, "Go home. I will call you and let you know what needs to happen next." So I get in the car, freak out. I just scream, just bloody murder and cry and just why, just want to know why. So go home. The doctor calls with the hardest news I've ever heard, which is now you can decide to either wait over the weekend, go to a special clinic where they will put you under and do a sweeping of you and manually open you, and it's going to be really painful and it's going to take a long recovery, but you'll be asleep for it, or you can check into the hospital tonight and be with the doctors and nurses that you know and go get induced to have the baby. So we chose option 2. I felt like I rather give birth and I rather him come out with me awake. I want to be there. I wanted to see him and hold him and tell him that I was sorry and that I loved him. So, sorry. That's what we did. We checked into the hospital that night. I was not anywhere close to dilated, of course, so it took multiple days of lots of things happening, such as balloons being put in me and some very, very painful things. I did end up getting an epidural because I was so miserable, but in the meantime, I had my husband there holding my hand and being so supportive. My best friend came by and laid in the bed with me, so there was a lot of love. The nurses were really, really sweet, and I couldn't understand what was happening then. I just wanted it all to be over. So I went in there on a Thursday. I had him on Saturday night. He came very easily. I was in and out of sleep. I felt like he was gonna be coming soon, and sure enough, he did. He kind of just slipped right out, and the nurse came in to check me, and she said he's coming. So I gave a couple good pushes, but of course, it usually happens in my case. Their placenta and everything, it just doesn't always come out at the same time. After I gave birth, I had to be rushed into the operating room where I had a D&C, where they went in and got everything out. That was really scary because Colin couldn't come in there with me, and it was just, there's so many risks, but everything went well. They had a couple questions about maybe the shape of my uterus could have been the cause, but they didn't see anything wrong with him or his cord or anything like that. So I came back. We were able to hold him as long as we wanted, to talk to him. And then we said goodbye, and he was cremated. We were able to leave the hospital on Sunday, and we were able to pick him up from a funeral home the next week. And from there, we've just started our journey on grieving and trying to recover and trying to make sure that everything is healthy with me. I'm making this video because this week we did find out that I'm okay, and that if we did try again, that there's a good possibility that everything would be okay. But I just wanted to put this out there and let everyone know, if you're going through this or you know someone that's going through this, that it's okay, and that it's really, really painful, and that it takes, I'm sure it's gonna take me a long time to feel okay and to feel normal and to go back to feeling like myself, but that if there's hope for me, there's hope for you, and to just stay strong and to just know that everything that you're feeling, someone else out there is feeling it too, and it's just gonna take time. So thanks for listening to my story, and I hope this helps someone.